I do just what I do, and I hope you let me in, yeah.
What is going on, guys, and welcome to Disrupt the Industry. I'm your host, Dre Canavati, and today I'm super pumped up because we are starting a new series, and this series is called Starting from Scratch. So basically, what I want to emulate here is a guy or a girl who goes into the gym, right? They have literally zero clue what they're doing. You've never touched a weight. You've never been in a weight room. You've never done anything, but you want to get in shape. You want to change your life, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you the tools you need to absolutely achieve a great physique and get into the gym. So today, the first thing, the first topic, the first episode of what's going to be Starting from Scratch is going to be your training split, okay? Your training split, guys. So when it comes to a training split, there's a few factors that we need to touch on, okay? Here's what I'll say the most important factor is. The most important factor that has to do with your training split is making sure that you love your training split, is making sure that you have fun while doing your training split. Because here's the thing. If you do not love what you're doing, if you're not having fun in the gym, that's not going to be sustainable. It's not going to be something that you do for a long time and you're going to end up quitting or just giving up on yourself. And that's not what we want, guys. So once again, let's hop into your training split. Now, when it comes to your training split, you need to focus on three different things, okay? Your intensity, which is how hard you train, how hard each set is. Your volume, which is how many sets you do, right? And your frequency, which is how many times a week you're training each muscle group. Now, we're actually going to touch on intensity, volume, and frequency in a completely different video. It's actually going to be the next video. But today, let me break down for you in normal people terms, right? Because I feel as though as a coach, you're not a great coach if you're a super, super smart guy, but you don't know how to break down a complicated topic to normal people, okay? So that's why I'm here. I'm going to make the complicated topic very, very, very easy for you to understand so that you can actually apply it, learn from it, and see results from it. So when it comes to what's going to be a great beginner split, because we're going to go beginner, we're going to go intermediate, and we're going to go advanced, okay? Now, what is the difference between a beginner, intermediate, and advanced lifter? There is a threshold, right? There are thresholds here, guys. The main two things is going to be how strong you are, okay, and how big you are, how much muscle tissue you have on your frame, and how strong you are, okay? If you're benching the 50-pound dumbbells on incline dumbbell bench press, you're more than likely just simply going to be a beginner, okay? And if you're repping 225 for 2 to 3 reps, you're probably still a beginner, and that's okay because everybody thinks that to be a beginner is a bad thing. And I'm about to show you why that being a beginner is actually a good thing right here, right now. Because when you're a beginner, you have the most potential to grow. And that's why this video is so important, guys. If you optimize what I'm saying, you will grow the most in your first 1 to 2 years of lifting, because as a beginner, you're going to have something called newbie gains. I'm sure you've heard it before, newbie gains. So that's when your body has the most potential to change. You can lift a backpack over your head when you first start lifting and see results. So if you optimize your training from the get-go, which I would say 99.9% of people do not do, then you're going to have an insane body transformation, something that's going to be completely out of the ordinary, and completely people are going to just start saying, oh, are you on steroids? You know, you're definitely on steroids. You definitely took this and that. It's like, no, I actually optimized my training. I optimized my volume, intensity, frequency, and I trained correctly. I trained hard, and we're going to get into all those things in different videos, but actually optimized my training from the start, and I combine that with proper nutrition, and this is the result. So let's get into what makes a great beginner split and why. So when it comes to a great beginner split, I love a 7-day-a-week split. Now, there's two types of splits in this video, guys, that we're going to be touching on, okay? Your weekly split and your rotating split. Now, here's the difference. A weekly split is going to be the days you train align with Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So you can do push on Monday, pull on Tuesday, legs on Wednesday, off on Thursday, and your session always is going to align. You're always going to hit push on Monday. You're always going to hit pull on Tuesday, right? So this is a weekly split right here as a beginner split. And what you're going to do is actually a full body split. And I'm going to explain why as well, okay? So what you're going to do for a beginner split, this is my favorite beginner split, and I'm going to explain why. So it's going to go full body split, right? Or not full body. You're going to do a full body workout on Monday. You're going to take off on Tuesday. Full body workout on Wednesday, off on Thursday. Full body workout on Friday, off Saturday and Sunday. So you're training 3 times a week. Now, why should a beginner train full body 3 times a week? I'm going to put this in perspective for you, right? In normal person terms, okay? When you're a beginner, you are going to recover faster than if you are intermediate or advanced. Why? The big question is why. When you're a beginner, the fact of the matter is this: the weights you're using are not going to be heavy. And since the weights you're using are not going to be heavy, those lighter weights are not going to strain your CNS as much, your joints as much, and you're going to have an easier time to recover. So if you do a pressing movement on Monday, right? If you do a pressing movement on Monday, it's probably not going to be with that heavy of dumbbells. You might be the 30-pound dumbbells if you're a male, the 50-pound dumbbells, whatever. That's not terrible, but again, for a beginner. But by the time you get to Wednesday, because the weights were not as heavy on Monday, you had Tuesday to recover, and then you're ready to go on Wednesday. Once again, your volume is not going to be that high. We're going to learn about volume in the next episode. We're definitely going to learn about volume in the next episode. Your volume is not going to be that high, right? The weight's not going to be that heavy, so you're going to be able to grow off of doing the least amount of work possible, which is what you want. And from there, you're going to be fresh and ready to go on Wednesday. Now, let's touch on what I just said before. As a beginner, as an intermediate, as an advanced lifter, you want to grow using the least amount of work or volume or whatever you want to call it as possible, right? You want to think of your gains as a sponge. If you're hitting 6 sets a week, you want to take that sponge that says 6 sets and you want to wring out all the water or the liquid of that sponge, right? And all that water being wrung out is like progress, right? And you want to wring that progress out of the 6 sets a week, right? And that way you can make gains, you can make progress, your body can change doing the least amount of work. So that way, when you start to do 7 or 8 sets a week, your sponge re-expands with liquid and you can just wring all the progress out of that 7 to 8 sets a week sponge, so that you can see the best results possible, the most progress possible. The biggest mistake I see beginners making is doing too much too fast, right? So if you are a beginner and you're doing 10 sets a week, right? Or 20 sets a week or something crazy like that, when you plateau, well, first of all, you're going to be over fatigued and you're going to be under recovered because you're doing so much. You're not going to be able to push intensity properly. But where do you go from there? 21 sets a week, 50 sets a week? Like, that's just ridiculous, guys. You want to do the most, or you want to do the least amount of work possible and get the most results out of doing that least amount of work, if that makes any sense. So again, we're trying to prioritize quality over quantity. So that way, when we increase the quantity or add sets, right, what's going to happen is your body is going to respond with a growth stimulus, okay? So once again, when it comes to a full body session on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, your volume is going to be low. Your intensity is going to be high. The weights you're using are not going to be as heavy as they would be as an advanced lifter. Hate to say it, everyone starts somewhere. So that way your body is going to have an easier time to recover and you're going to be able to push again on Wednesday, right? So that's going to be a great beginner split. It's going to be 3 days a week, full body, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, off on Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, Sunday. That's a great one. Another great beginner split is going to be an upper-lower split. And say you're a beginner and you just want to train 4 days a week. Completely fine. It happens. When you first get started, you're super motivated. You're super driven to be better. Okay. You're super excited to get in the gym. You love it. You have a passion for falling in love with the gym. Let's talk about an upper-lower split that is great for beginners that we can do 4 days a week and crush. So this split is going to be a weekly split once again. So what you're going to do is you're going to do a full body session on Monday. You're going to take off on Tuesday. You're going to do a full body session on Wednesday. You're going to take off on Thursday. And then on Friday, you're going to do an upper body session, okay? And then on Saturday, you're going to do a lower body session. And then on Sunday, what you're going to do is you're going to take off again, and you're going to repeat that weekly split the next day. So very easy, very simple, very straightforward. This is a great beginner split as well. This is just for if you want to, again, spread out your workouts a little more, or even just train 4 days a week. Again, when you first get started in the gym, everyone's super motivated and it's awesome. So now let's get into intermediate splits, okay? So what we got going on here is the intro to an intermediate set. Volume is going to increase a little bit. What we're going to do is an upper-lower split, right? And this is still going to be a weekly split. What we're going to do is Monday, upper body, Tuesday, off. Wednesday, lower body, Thursday, off. Friday, upper body, Saturday, lower body, Sunday, off. See how that works, guys? So again, this is if our volume is going to increase a little bit. We're going to spread it out a little more, and you're going to need just a little more volume to grow. But we're still going to keep intensity high, and we are still prioritizing recovery as an intermediate lifter with our upper-lower 4-day-a-week split. We are taking out those full body days, and now we are delegating a full upper body session and a full lower body session instead. Another later intermediate stage would still be a weekly split, but it would be a 5-day-a-week split. Say you just want to train 5 days a week, you want better recovery, volumes increasing a little bit. What you can do is you can do something along the lines of what's going to be Monday, pull, Tuesday, push, Wednesday, legs, Thursday, off, Friday, upper body, Saturday, lower body, off. So again, say our volume increased a little bit, or maybe you just want to train 5 days a week. This is a great 5-day intermediate split. Again, we are prioritizing a little more push, a little more pull, a little more legs. This can even be an early, I don't want to say an early advanced stage, but this is still a solid intermediate stage, right? You want to train 5 days a week. And that's the biggest thing. Volume starting to increase in our training because, again, we are plateauing and we need a little more to grow. So great 5-day-a-week split. It's a weekly split, not rotating whatsoever. You can do the same session every single day, or the same, you know what I mean. You can do the same session each day of the week. So again, Monday will always be that pull day. Tuesday will always be that push day, etc. So that's our solid weekly 5-day split. Guys, now it gets a little tricky, okay? We're getting into our advanced lifter splits. And what makes an advanced lifter? A lot of muscle tissue, very high strength. Now, there are exceptions to the rules. Say somebody just has, and we'll talk about this later on in the video, but say somebody simply has not a lot of time to train in the gym each day. Say somebody has a limited time to work out. A rotating split could be good. Now, what is a rotating split? A rotating split is going to be a split where you're never actually working out on the same day 2 weeks in a row. So it would be something along the lines of 3 days on, 1 day off, and then repeat. 2 days on, 1 day off, repeat. So again, it gets a little tricky because it comes in the form of 4 3-day rotations. So again, we're going to learn about that rotating split right here, right now. And a super common rotating split right off the bat when you're going from intermediate to advanced lifter is going to be, or even a high intermediate to an advanced lifter is going to be a 3-day on, 1 day off split. Now, I call this a 4-day rotation, okay? So you're going to do pull, you're going to do push, you're going to do legs, and then you're going to take off. So that's 4 days. Pull, push, legs, off. And then you're going to repeat that. So 4 days. Pull, push, legs off. Pull, push, legs off. Yes. So again, 4 days twice in a row is going to be 8 days. Some people call it an 8-day rotation. I'm just going to call it a 4-day rotation. If you do the math, you're not going to be training on the same day each and every week. There's not going to be a pull day every single Monday. If you start on Monday, pull, Tuesday, push, Wednesday, legs, okay, Thursday off. Then on Friday, you're going to do pull, and then Saturday, you're going to do push. Sunday, you're going to do legs, and you're going to have off on Monday, whereas before, you had pull on Monday. See how that works, guys? I'm not going to go over and explain this for every single split, but now you understand how a rotating split works and why it's different from a weekly split, because you're not going to hit the same session on the same day 2 weeks in a row. So what can happen here and why there is a disadvantage to this is people who like to have a lot of structure within their schedule. They may not want to do a rotating split because it may mess with their work mojo, the work-life balance, because a lot of the people that you're going to be coaching may not be bodybuilders. Guys, they have a life, they have a job, they just want to get in shape. So again, there are other options which we will get to later, but this pretty much sums up what happens when we do a 3-day on, 1 day off split. The next rotating split we're going to talk about is 2 days on, 1 day off. So that's 2 days lifting, 1 rest day. So a great example of this would be we're going to do legs, push, off, pull, legs, off, and then we're going to do push, pull, off. So you could call this a 4 to 5 day rotation, okay, or a rotating split, because if you do legs, push, off, pull, and then legs again, you're having a second leg session of the week. So that would be what's going to be your 5th day. So it's a 4 to 5 day rotation. But again, you're not going to have the same day 2 weeks in a row. So a 2 day on, 1 day off split is great for recovery. But again, people may not like that because you may not be hitting the same workout the same day each week, if that makes sense. So again, what you could do is a quad bias leg day on Monday. Then on Tuesday, you could do a chest bias push day, off on Wednesday. Thursday, we're going to do a vertical bias pull day, or say you want to do a bicep bias pull day, okay, on Thursday. Then on Friday, you've got another leg day, but we're going to do glutes and hams on Friday, glutes and hams bias leg day on Friday, right? Saturday, we're going to take off. Sunday, we would do what's going to be a delt and tricep based push day. And then Monday, while we started with legs last week, we now have a horizontal pull, or say like a back day bias pull on Monday. So see how that works, guys. Okay. You're not hitting the same workout on the same day each and every week. It's 2 days on, 1 day off. Next, we're going to get into some very fancy splits. Okay. So the first one we're going to get into is a leg recovery specification split. So some people may need a rest day before their leg day and a rest day after their leg day. Now, this is a 5-day rotating split. So you can do pull, push, off, legs, off. So that's 5 days. You have an off day before your leg day, and then you have an off day after your leg day. Some people need that because they're going so hard on that leg day that their body just needs a second to recover. Once again, the more advanced that you get, the harder it's going to be to recover, because intensity is going to be higher, because training to failure is a skill, volume is going to be higher, and your weights are going to be heavier. So you might need that off day before and after your leg day. The next split we're going to talk about is a 6-day rotating split, and that is leg specification. So say your legs are lacking and you want to bring those legs up, guys, okay? You can do leg day and you can make it quad biased, then a push day, then go off. And then you can do leg day, glute and hamstring biased, pull day, off. So you can see that 6 days, and then you just repeat that after that off day. You go back to legs with a quad bias. The next rotating split we're going to talk about is a pull bias split, right? So it's a 6-day rotating split, and you can do something along the lines of a push day, then you can do the next day a pull day. Now this is going to be a horizontal pull day, and then you're going to take off, and then you're going to do a leg day, and then you're going to do a vertical pull day, and then you're going to go off again. And you can do the same thing. Say you want to biceps one day. The possibilities are endless. You could do a push day and then a bicep bias pull day, and then you could take off, and then you could do a leg day, then you could do a back biased pull day, then take off again. Again, it's the same 6 rotating day split, just pull specialization. Next, of course, we did legs and we did pull. So now we're doing a push day specialization split. This is a 6-day rotating split. You could do something along the lines of pull, and then the next day you could do a push day with a chest bias. Then you can take off, and then you can do legs, and then you can do another push day with a delt and tricep bias, and then you can take off again and just repeat that process again, a 6-day rotating split with a push bias. Now the next one, and I know a lot of you are going to be excited for this, is an arm specialization day. So again, it's a 5-day, it's not a 6-day rotating split, it's a 5-day rotating split. So what you can do is you can do a push day, a pull day, then you can do an arm day, then you can do a leg day, then off. So it'd be push, pull, arms, legs, off, and then repeat that again. So there's your arm day specialization program for those of you who really want to focus on growing your arms. Again, a perfect example, I could just say it, is Monday push, Tuesday pull, Wednesday arms, Thursday legs, Friday off, and then repeat that again. So easy peasy lemon squeezy. Next, we're going back to a weekly split, and I call this a upper body specification 7-day split. So something along the lines of that, a weekly split that biases your upper body. So what you can do, I even sometimes call it the bro split, upper body specification split. So easy peasy. So let's get into this one. So again, we're back to a weekly split. So your workouts align with the day of the week. So on Monday, you'll do chest, you'll do front delts, because the front delts are going to be worked with your chest pressing movements. And again, with any pressing movement, chest, front delts, side delts, that's Monday. Tuesday, you can do back and rear delts. Wednesday, you can do arms. Thursday, take off. Friday, you can do legs. And then Saturday, you can do full upper body, and then off Sunday and repeat. Next, we have our bro split, lower body specialization. So keeping it short and sweet, Monday, we would do a leg day. Tuesday, we would do chest, front delt, side delt. Wednesday, we would do back and rear delt. Thursday off. Friday, lower body. It could be a full leg day, or if you did a quad bias leg day on Monday, it could be a glute and ham bias leg day on Friday. And then Saturday, arms, Sunday off, and just repeat that. Easy peasy. It's like the third time I said that. Easy peasy. And from there, that's a bro split with a lower body specification on a weekly split. So you're training what's going to be your quads, or your legs, I should say, twice in that 7-day weekly split. From there, again, frequency, intensity, volume. We're going to get to that in a second. So this is a great split for an advanced lifter that's really trying to blow up their legs. So say you're your average Joe, but you're an advanced lifter and you really want to push hard. You want to get super big, but you really want to maximize your recovery and you only have 4 days a week to train. You could just do an average weekly bro split, which is not the most optimal thing in the world, but you can do it. You could do chest, front delts, side delts on Monday. You could do back and rear delts on Tuesday. You could do arms on Wednesday, off Thursday, legs on Friday, and then off Saturday and Sunday. Is it the most optimal thing in the world? No, but can you grow from it? You absolutely can. You just got to make sure your intensity is on point, and you got to make sure you have enough volume within those sessions. So that's our 4-day bro split, weekly bro split, right? 7 days a week, easy. You know, you don't have to do a rotating split. You can have the same workouts on the same day each week, and nothing really to think about there. The next thing you can do is your 6-day rotating split with a bro split. So this is a little better than I would say the 4-day-a-week bro split. So you could do chest, front delt, side delt, back and rear delts. Then you could do an arm day. Then you could take off. Then you could do a leg day. Then you could take off. And then you could just repeat that. So it's a 6-day rotating split. So instead of taking that extra off day on Saturday, or on Sunday, I should say, you're repeating and you're cutting down a recovery day. So that way you can increase the frequency that you're going to train each muscle group. And frequency is just the amount of times each week you train a muscle group, or I guess the amount of times within a given time period, whether it's 3 days, 4 days, 5 days, 6 days, 7 days, 2 days, you know? So that's your weekly, or no, not your weekly, that's your rotating bro split. So again, chest, front delt, side delt, then the next day back and rear delts, then the next day arms, off, then legs the next day, then off, then just repeat that. So that's 6 days right there. Next, before we get into super advanced splits, we have what I call the brother split. Now I'm going to throw this in here for fun. I call it the brother split because it's a step up from the bro split. And this is for somebody who really is an advanced lifter, for someone who wants to push intensity and really is focused on progressing on every single set they do. An advanced lifter, once again, someone who just really is focused on intensity and progression, recovery, optimizing all the boxes, but they can only train for 30 minutes a day. This is a real thing. Or they only want to train for 30 minutes a day because their schedule impedes it. So this is what I call the brother split. Now, keep in mind, you're going to put core work, a little bit of core work on each of these days. So that's why the abs are not going to be involved in the brother split. The brother split is a 9-day rotating split. Interesting, right? 9-day rotating split. So let's get into it. So the brother split's very interesting, guys. So one day you're going to do just biceps. The next day you're going to do just shoulders. Then I like to take an off day. From there, you're going to do just triceps. And then the next day you're going to do just back. And then the next day you're going to do quads and adductors. And then the day after that, you're going to do chest. And then the day after that, you're going to do glutes and hamstrings. And then you're going to repeat that whole split over and over. That's the 9-day brother split. Now, is that the most optimal thing in the world? Absolutely not. But if you really want to just focus on pushing heavyweight, optimizing recovery, and once again, you don't have a lot of time to train. You can only train for 30 minutes a day. You have a job, but you really just want to be the best athlete you can be. The brother split is perfect. Lastly, I'm going to touch on body part optimization splits. Okay, so this is very interesting. Okay, body part optimization splits. So a perfect example of this, and you can play with this one a lot, is one day you can do a chest delt. So it's chest, front delt, side delts, and bicep day. Now, why would you not do a chest, front delt, side delt, and tricep day, a full push day. Well, let me explain to you. For some people, their arms have a hard time growing. So what you would do is you would do chest, and then you would do front delt, side delt with your pressing movements, and then you would do biceps either after your chest and your delts, or you would do biceps before your chest and your delts. I would do biceps before your chest and your delts. Why? Because if biceps are a stubborn body part for you, it's going to be a great thing to start your workout with biceps and then go into pressing movements, because bicep training will not fatigue your pressing movements. If anything, they might help you to warm up the joints, right? So you do your bicep training and then you do your chest and your delt training, right? And your biceps, that bicep work is not going to impede your recovery, or it's not going to impede your pressing movements. So you're still going to be able to hit progressive overload. So a chest day, a front delt, side delt day, and then biceps in there at the beginning is going to be great. And then the next day, what you can do is you can do a back and triceps day. Now, why back and triceps? Again, because if you did back and biceps and you did your biceps first, your bicep fatigue would have impeded your pulling movements. So what you can do instead is you can do triceps before your back work and just put all your energy while you're fresh into that tricep training. So triceps, and then do all your pull movements after. Why? Because your triceps are a lagging point, right? So what you're going to do is you're going to hit them first. And since you're doing a tricep exercise, they're not going to impede your pulling movements. So see how that works? And then from there, you can do, once again, a leg day and then off. But again, split specialization, that's where some things will fall into place. You know, you could do something along the lines of, you do chest and biceps, you get the whole thing, right? But the big thing is just putting those weak points first and not aligning those weak points in a workout where they have the potential to get fatigued. So I'm actually, when I release the PDF version of this, I'm actually going to put down an example of a split, which is going to show you how to do this, but I'll show you right now. So very easy, very simple. This is a split I've been using for a second now. So what I'll do is I'll do Monday, I'll do chest, I'll do front delts, side delts, and I'll do biceps, but I'll do my biceps first, okay? Then on Tuesday, what I'll do is I'll do triceps and then back. And then on Wednesday, I will do legs, or I'll take off. It depends, right? And then, so let's say I'll do a leg day. I'll do quad bias leg day, then I'll take off. Then what I'll do is I'll do a classic push-pull legs. So it's a weekly split, very easy, very simple. So it's going to be chest, side delts, front delts and biceps. Then the next day it's going to be back and triceps. Then it's going to be legs. Then it'll be off. And then it'll be push-pull legs and off. I guess that's actually a weekly rotating split. But what I do, this is why it's not a rotating split, is I only have one day, leg day a week. So sorry for the confusion there. So what it would be is it would be chest, front delts, side delts, and biceps on Monday, back and triceps on Tuesday. Then I'd take off. Then I would do pull legs, or push legs, and then I would take off again. Easy breezy, guys. So that's 5 training days a week, and 3 of those training days you have your normal push legs, and then the other 2 training days you're switching it up a little bit and you're focusing on your arms, because you're training biceps, then chest, front delts, side delts on Monday, and then on Tuesday you're going to be training triceps and then your pulling movements on Tuesday. So again, arms are going to get love first. But guys, that is going to sum up every single split you could possibly do, and who needs what split. So I think I did a pretty great job there. I'm not going to lie to you. So many splits, so many endless possibilities. If you guys want help choosing which splits for you, what you can do is you can straight up DM me on Instagram and ask me, describe your situation to me, and stay tuned for the PDF version of this coming out very soon. So thank you guys so much. God bless you, and let's disrupt the industry.
Yeah.